typing?
Obviously.
Look smart, guys.
And research.
Well, I'm going to step out if that's the case.
Just a researcher researching research.
That's what I've been doing the past 3 days, and it's been awful. It's been a struggle.
Welcome in, welcome in.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Is it time to, are we going to get this ball rolling?
I think it's time.
We tried this once before. We're going to go ahead and start it again. Thank you for joining us, Gun Talk Live. Today's Gun Talk Live is brought to you by
Timney Triggers, the world's finest triggers. For 75 years, Timney Triggers has made quality triggers in the U.S. for a variety of long guns, and now for handguns as well. Find your competitive edge with the Alpha Competition Series trigger for Glock Gen 3, Gen 4, and Gen 5 models. A 3-pound pull weight, crisp trigger break, and Timney's signature easy-to-install design. Find yours at timneytriggers.com. Gun Talk Live also brought to you by Sig Sauer. Ammo is harder to find right now. Did you know you can buy directly from sigsauer.com?
What?
Why are we telling them this? This was like one of our secrets. And that, as of right now, they have ammunition, brass, and bullets in stock as of right now when they wrote this. 308 Win, 9mm, 223, updated daily and ready to ship. Check out sigsauer.com/ammunition today. Also remember to enter to win Gun Talk's Pot of Prizes giveaway. Now through April 2nd at guntalk.com/win. We've got cases of ammunition from Ammo Inc., gift certificates to Galco Gun Leather and Safariland.com, Laser Academy training kits from Mantis, and the new Walther PDP pistol.
What?
26 winners in all. Easy to enter, easy to win. That's right. Go to guntalk.com/win.
Okay, I'm going to call BS on your
It was
ammo in stock.
It was in stock when the copy was written.
I'm sorry. Okay, they do have a little bit.
What do they got?
They do. They have. It looks like they have their 223 Remington 40 grain varmint loads, which are very nice.
That's awesome.
308, and actually
go buy them up, everybody. You know what to do.
Actually, that's a really good deal because it looks like 20 rounds. I mean, it's a $21 for a box.
And it's
which
like
actually
this is not just punch holes in paper ammo.
No.
And side note, varmint loads for 223 are awesome home defense loads because they will stop bad guys, but when they hit real hard surfaces like sheetrock walls, studs, 2x4 studs, it breaks apart, and it tends to not go over penetrate and go through a bunch of walls.
Well, that's because
we tested it.
Coyotes and
because of coyotes.
Thin-skinned
It's designed for that, but it works well for this purpose as well.
No practice ammo in stock, no defensive ammo, but there is ammo to be had.
So Craig says, Ryan, like that shirt a lot. This is a cool shirt. I wore it for a reason today because what we were going to be talking about. As you can tell, it's got this kind of neat pattern of modern sporting rifles, and underneath it says legislate, and over the top of it says educate. So education over legislation. This is not our shirt. This is actually from the DC Project. So you can check them out. Just look them up, DC Project.
Yeah.
I think it's dcproject.info. This is the group of women who go to DC when citizens were allowed to go to DC and talk to the representatives.
You have
and
to just stand outside with a megaphone and shout.
Yeah, now you just have to stand next to the guard protecting your representatives.
So, before we get into it, Mr. Boyd Bauer, congratulations. Yeah.
You know what? There's going to be a quota. You win so many times.
I'm telling you, every time you enter, it's an entry. So, or comment. Every time you comment, you're automatically entered. So, congratulations, Boyd. You won some MagSkin stuff. On the table today is a little combo pack we've got from Olight. You got the brass EOS brass light here, the brass monkey.
Brass monkey. That funky monkey.
And then you got the O-bulb. So take this light wherever you go. It's got a little magnet inside. You can put a little adhesive on the thing.
This was actually a character on Star Trek.
Yes, I think
we don't have a close-up of it, but
Star Trek.
You'll see it.
Star Trek.
I don't know. I don't watch that stuff.
Okay,
all right, so we want to let's tell them what we're going to talk about and we'll dive into some story time.
So we've got a bunch of stories out there. This week's obviously a busy week for all in the firearms industry and gun legislation and all this good stuff. And we're hearing a lot of info as far as like details. But what we're not hearing about is, well, what do we do next? Where do we go get our information?
Right.
And so that's what we're doing today.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, we don't want to preach to the choir, all right? And there's a lot of talk about losing gun rights and gun regulations and more gun control on your rights. So we don't need to tell you why that's a bad idea. What we wanted to do is give you tools, as we said, tools for your gun right fight. Which I like that. That's good. That was good.
It was, right? You're good. You're gun right.
So we wanted to give you some intellectual ammunition to help you as you talk to your friends and family, but also, hopefully, you're reaching out to the politicians that serve you, your public servants, and let them know what you'd like to happen, what you'd like them to do or not do, and also maybe even perhaps try to educate them a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's, each of us has our gunfight right. And like, who is it? Michael Williams says, we have to rally the troops. Yes, each of us has our individual fights that we have to do every day. And that's part of leading the conversation. And I say conversation because we need to be able to converse with the other side and say, hey, look, these are the facts. Like, we're providing facts, and sometimes they just want to yell. Nonsense.
Yeah, so step one, don't get riled up, even though that's really hard to do.
It's really hard to do.
Really hard to do.
Especially when I've been going to the sites like all over.
Poor guy.
For the past 3 days, I've been cruising the sites and understanding like what they're calling for and what is misinformation. And it's on us to go, that's wrong. And here's why, and here's where we got our information.
Right, absolutely.
And there's a lot of great websites out there.
We have some specifics.
We do have some specifics. To get into. So, I'm also going to, I'm going to do this right now, and I'm going to call myself out. I have contacted the legislation. I've contacted my senators, phone calls, emails, which is all great and good, but I have never put my money where my mouth is. Today, I signed up, Second Amendment Foundation, lifetime member.
Cool.
So I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm calling myself out because if I'm going to talk this, I need to be able to back it up, and shame on me for waiting for so long. So don't be KJ.
Yes, they do need your support, and by support, we mean dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, this is big boy world where, stuff costs money, and winning lawsuits cost lots of money.
Yeah.
Don't be KJ before today. Be KJ today.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, and that was a tough pill for me to swallow because there's like, I'm trying to save money for this hunt, but I'm like, you know what? Like, that hunt is not there if I don't have my rights.
Right. Yes.
So it's about putting it in perspective for me, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize to our audience, and no more. I'm done, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is.
There you go.
So moving on. So sorry for that. I want to be honest with you guys. So we're going to read through some little quotes and stuff that I found across the interwebs, and then provide you with the intellectual properties to discredit those. So this first one I thought interesting.
So these are the claims that people make, or the things that
Right.
you hear from gun control advocates.
Yes. So this is just where everybody goes to pick up groceries, Governor Jared Polis said. Never ever does it cross your mind that a trip to the grocery store could be your last moments on Earth. Okay. This can happen anywhere. We know that. A study from the Crime Prevention Research Center shows 89% of mass shootings between 1998 and June 2019 occurred in gun-free zones.
So let me just add to this.
Yes.
This guy this week in Colorado was from a town called Arvada. Arvada.
Yep.
Which is about 30 miles south of Boulder, as I understand it. Why did he drive 30 miles to go to this grocery store? Why couldn't he have just gone to a grocery store around the corner? You guys may have been following this, but Colorado has some pretty good restrictions, or really bad restrictions, on gun rights and magazine capacities. Boulder has even more restrictions on it.
Right.
So just a hint, just a.
That's one of those things that you have to think about, and you have to prepare mentally. These happen in large part in target-rich environments that are soft. They're soft targets.
Right.
And
they don't want to encounter. They're
Right.
generally not going to police stations
Right.
to do this. What's the next one?
And then going on, and then we talk about, and we do have links listed below for you guys to find out who you need to contact, your legislators, where their information can be found, also where we pulled our statistics from, which are reputable
Right.
sources.
So we're trying to be helpful and productive today.
Right.
We're trying to give you guys a little prep course, a little test prep. And so there are links in the descriptions.
Yeah.
Use those, copy and paste them in your communications with your representatives, but also if you're doing
Yeah.
some debating on social media.
Back it up.
Yeah, more tools for you.
The AR-15 platform weapon, whether it's a long gun or pistol, essentially has the same firepower. It's a semi-automatic made for combat.
This is what
and
they
that's
say.
from Timothy D. Lighton, a gun industry expert at Georgia State University.
Okay.
AR-15 style rifles are not assault weapons or assault rifles. An assault rifle is fully automatic. A machine gun, automatic firearms have been severely restricted from civilian ownership since 1934. Also, AR-15 style rifles are no more powerful than other hunting rifles of the same caliber, and in most cases are chambered in calibers less powerful than common big game hunting cartridges.
Well, but and I know you guys are gun guys, but what they're trying, what these are, and this is pulled from National Shooting Sports Foundation's website.
Yep.
They have a really nice little like one sheet on modern sporting rifle, or a single page on their website that's really full of good information, good facts.
Yeah.
People will say the powerful AR-15. Well, you guys know it's a .223 cartridge.
Yes.
And a .223 cartridge is the exact same power as any gun that's firing a .223 cartridge.
Right.
So I guess that's what we're trying to
Right.
communicate here.
And then another little statistics pulled from the NSSF MSR information sheet. Rifles alone have only been used in 13% of 21st century mass shootings. Shotguns alone have only been used in 4%.
Let me jump in here.
Please. See, I knew.
So FBI crime statistics, and you guys have heard probably Tom Gresham quote these, you've heard other people quote them, but if we're going to just try to be a little bit logical about this, this is 2019, which is the most recent stats we have, okay? I'm going to give you some numbers. 1,476. It's the number of people killed with knives or other cutting instruments in 2019, all right? 600. 600 is the number of people killed with hands, fists, and feet in 2019. 364 is the total number of people killed with rifles in 2019. And of course, AR-15s are a subset of that. So it's going to be even lower than that. 364. It's not good. 10 people killed at a grocery store in Colorado is horrible. It's murder. It's a murderer. And perhaps a terrorist, I'd say. But when we talk about statistically insignificant or statistically significant, we have a bunch of stuff going on with stuff that has nothing to do with guns right now, where they say a certain number of deaths are acceptable if we can inject millions of people. So, I'm just saying, I don't want to get into a whole thing there, but moving on. I know you've got more.
you just made my blood pressure start going up.
So
it's been that way all week. We do have some great comments coming in. And Texas Huntsman's right. I wish I thought facts mattered to the left. They don't.
No, you're right. You're right. Facts are a tough. We always try to go on the facts, and then the other side tends to go on emotion. We have to do something, right? versus what would really have helped this? Well, magazine restrictions is already magazine restrictions. He already broke that rule.
He broke it. Wait, so you're telling me that a guy intent on doing harm
Right.
is going to find a way?
Committing 10 murders, 10 life sentences.
Yeah.
He's worried about the fine that you're going to get for having a high-capacity magazine? Really? Standard capacity magazine?
Standard.
That's actually our shirt.
This is our shirt. And I wore this one for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's for us to change the narrative into our speak and what is right. Don't say high capacity. That's standard capacity magazines. Standard. So.
All right. Well, Chad wants. We have so many good comments. I'm gonna
start reading them.
I'm gonna get in here. Chad, appreciate you watching, man. I need to give you a call. According to Tom Givens, really good firearms trainer guy.
One of the best.
90% of the incidents his former students have been involved in happened away from the home, and the grocery store shooting shows the importance of carrying your gun every day and everywhere you go. Great point.
What does Tom say? Pants on, gun on?
That's right. Yeah. More people are killed by hammers than all rifles. I don't know. It may be true.
Did you read the number about how many people have died from the vaccinations?
I didn't want to get into it, but it's...
I want you to read that. Read that number.
Well, I ain't a doctor, but according to the CDC, deaths after getting a vaccine that have been reported to the CDC, it's past 2,000 now since December. I don't know if the vaccine was the cause of death. Maybe they were going to die the next day anyway, but that's just the number. Again, I'm not a doctor. You do whatever you want. You do you.
Doctor.
Get your vaccine or don't. I don't care. But I'm just saying. Doctor.
Okay, some more little snippets that I pulled from this week and I want to know how many of you guys have actually bragged to your friends about owning an AR-15 pistol, because that's what this one is about. And if you said these words, please leave the channel. Enthusiasts like it because they like to say it's sort of a fire-breathing type of weapon at the range. If you have said that at any time, the door's right over there. I don't know anybody who would that's why they own it.
That's the reason.
It's like a fire-breathing dragon, bro. That one caught me off guard.
Who said that?
That was another expert. That was Lighton, the
expert.
Yeah. And I told Ryan I have a personal issue with this, and many of my guns will disagree with this statement if they could talk, which I guess they kind of do. All of the features are snap-on, snap-off.
Yeah, this really hurt KJ's feelings.
So you can change calibers, barrel length, type of grip, type of shoulder stocks, type of sights.
Well, it is very customizable. He was just upset because...
I was upset because they made it sound so easy.
Because apparently he's not as good at this as this firearms expert professor guy.
I want him working on my guns now.
It's like Legos.
I snap on, snap off. I took personal offense to that. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't even read that. And then the versatility of the AR-15, including flash suppressors, pistol grips, and even bayonets, make it popular among gun enthusiasts.
Well, there's a big problem in our country right now with drive-by bayonettings. It's something that we've been dealing with, and we got to get a hold of all these bayonets and all these bayonet attachments. I mean, it's because when you can't get your musket reloaded in time, you go to bayonets.
Yeah, that's just
and thrust.
Part of the reason why we love these firearms, one, it's our constitutional rights to own them, and it's not, it's for hunting and it's for subsistence, but this is the next advancement. They didn't have computers back when they were writing the Constitution either.
Right.
So they weren't talking about computers. They weren't talking about TikTok and Facebook.
All right, next. Moving on. I know you got a bunch of these.
I'm telling you, dude, this has been a week coming.
Deep breath.
But I just want, I'm actually close to the end,
all right.
but the rifles, the reason why we love them is their accuracy, ruggedness, versatility, which serves target shooters, hunters as well. I mean,
So I also want to jump in here because I know that if you're out there, if you're a news junkie, you're watching a lot of news or on social media, it can be like, oh my gosh. But you are not alone.
Yes.
This week I had a couple of instances of this. There are more people who are gun owners and who support you and gun rights than you even realize. I'll give you a couple little quick stories. Yesterday I was at a facility, not a gun place, just a business, and the guy asked what I did, and I just, it's Gun Talk Media, that's what we do. And he was like, oh, man, I got this problem with getting a castle nut off. You do any gunsmithing? And it was like he didn't want to really come out and say the whole castle nut goes on an AR-15 in front of his coworkers, I think. But it was really funny. We ended up talking about castle nuts and buffer tubes and castle nut wrenches for a minute there.
But they probably had no clue that you guys were having this like very intimate like conversation like that you didn't expect.
We're having gun talk is what we're doing.
Right.
And then the one today was interesting. So I had to go do. I was at this doctor's office, and the lady has me walk down a hall, and I'm in the middle of the hallway of the doctor's office, and she's taking some pictures to evaluate my posture. Okay, and she goes, "Can you tuck in your shirt for me?" And I went, I can't do that. And she looked at me like, what? Well, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Do you need me to tuck in my shirt? Well, yeah, to be able to see your posture and all this stuff. And then she kind of leaned in. She's like, what's the deal? I went, well, I'm concealed carrying. And she goes, oh, no problem. Come with me. My husband's a cop of 13 years. And so we go into a little room. We put it up high, locked away, so you couldn't see it. Couldn't have access to it. And then afterwards, she's like, go ahead and, go back in the office and go put it on. She goes, so what are you carrying? I went, oh. And I told her what I was carrying. She goes, oh, okay, cool. She goes, yeah, I've got my M&P in the car. And she's like, I'm not having it on me right now. But just so you know, like this was just a doctor's office, lady worker. You never know, man. There are gun owners everywhere who support what we are all about here. So I just want a word of encouragement.
We're not alone.
You are not alone. I saw a comment on one of our YouTube videos this week that said, it doesn't matter. They have all the power. We're going to lose our rights. And I was just like, way to give up, man. Jeez.
Yeah,
so much for the Constitution, the Second Amendment, all of that stuff. It's not over.
No.
At all. It's ridiculous. So we just got to stay in the fight and be educated and make our voices heard.
And what frustrates me also about the whole thing is that the left views us as like, we did this. We do not condone violence. We do not condone the murdering of people. We are not out there doing this.
Yeah, of course not.
And that's one thing that we're going through all this stuff. Like we are painted in the worst possible light ever.
Yeah.
And it's just so frustrating.
Well, the fact of the matter is we don't have to defend our rights. The government has to defend trying to restrict your rights.
Right.
They have to prove why they need to do anything, actually.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got lots of good comments. You got comments over there, I'm sure.
It's
on fire. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want this to become an echo chamber. Because obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably a gun person, and you guys can all bag on Nancy Pelosi and all that stuff. But, let's try to be productive about this. And let's try to, honestly, I wouldn't even spend much time trying to convince my gun-hating cousin about this because she doesn't have really a say in this.
No.
I would spend my time letting the politicians know where I stand. And if you want to try to convince some people when you can, that's a good thing.
Just make sure you're equipped with the facts and don't be scared to stand up for what you believe and go to those reputable sources. We've got them listed. The ones that we really do engage in and follow and support are listed below NSSF does a great job. Second Amendment Foundation and the Crime Prevention Research Center to get all your data. And Firearms Policy Coalition, they're doing a lot of great stuff.
Yeah. And also, I would just say, if you don't, you should subscribe to the Gun Talk podcasts, especially Gun Talk Radio. Tom Gresham, you know, we've been doing this for 26 years, and he is one of the great thinkers on gun rights out there, and especially the messaging and trying to form a convincing argument about this stuff. And it's not you listen one time and you become an expert, but over the course of time, when you're following what he's saying, it's awesome, and you will be more educated and better equipped for explaining, you know, why gun rights are important to you.
Yep. It's all good stuff. Stay tuned. We got a lot coming out on this. But yeah, we've got, do want to give a special shout out to Pedro Pena. He actually just got his license to carry, and he just took his license to carry course and bought a 9mm, so he's waiting for his concealed carry license. So congratulations. Nice. Welcome to the family.
Continue the training. Continue the self-education on this.
Yep. Absolutely.
Continuing ed. All right, guys. Be careful out there. Carry everywhere, every day. And keep training. Bring more people out shooting. That helps the ranks as well. And do what you can. Let the politicians know what you want them to do. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching Gun Talk Live. For more great gun content, subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. You can always watch the Gun Talk channels on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon. And of course, you can always find us at guntalk.com. Thanks for watching.